Weddings and DJs, a DJ's Perspectives podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Rasmussen. Let's go. How's everybody out there doing today? I hope everybody's having a great Good Friday. That is when I am recording this. Looking forward to, the Easter holiday, the Easter weekend. I do have a wedding coming up, so that ought to be interesting. It's actually at like 2:30 in the afternoon, which will be a little bit more interesting since we're supposed to have some pretty severe thunderstorms come through later tonight and into tomorrow morning. So as of right now, everything is supposed to be outside, so it should get interesting tomorrow to see what the weather has done to the ground and what the venue looks like. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking they have like an Easter theme or whatever, but no, the colors aren't pastels. It's nothing like that. They got regular, traditional, I guess traditional colors. I think it's navy blue and like some kind of pink. So so for the most part it's just going to be a regular wedding, but the weather should play into it. And, on the next podcast, I'll give you an update on how it all went. I know I've mentioned before that, even though I do DJ quite often, many Saturdays, not every Saturday, but definitely during wedding season, prom season, all the way till, I don't know what the end of wedding season is now because of COVID. They pretty much go to like November, but I'm usually pretty busy every Saturday, but I still have a Monday through Friday job where I drive for UPS, and so I've just been thinking the past couple of days like what next topic, what do I want to do next, just kind of taking mental notes, primarily because in the afternoons once I make it to like just delivering to residentials, nobody really talks to me. I just drop the package off and come back. So I want to cover in this podcast photographers and videographers, and I know what you're thinking. Like, well, we did wedding planning. Shouldn't that be next? Yeah, it probably should, but it's also because I've been in touch with a photographer recently. Her name is Tommy, and she's interested about being on the podcast. She'll probably, make it more exciting and it'll blow up even bigger because she's awesome. I also will have my best friend and my DJ partner, James Perry. He'll be on, we're doing the wedding tomorrow, so we're going to try to figure out a time that we can kind of hook up and do a little 30-minute Q&A and, swap some stories and everything. But so I was talking to her about an upcoming wedding that I have, because they are using a photographer that I know. She's done, I think, 3 other weddings, and she's not only the photographer, but she's also the videographer. And what worries me is her husband does the pictures, and she does all the videos with her iPhone, which I don't know. I know, people are like, I made this, this full-length movie on my iPhone. And, I have a newish iPhone. I understand that the quality's spectacular. It's really nice. But on the other hand, I was like, before I really, start, I guess, judging or anything this other photographer and videographer, let's maybe I should get another opinion on it. And so I was talking to Tommy about just some concerns that I had, and one of those was sound, because a lot of times the videographers, they will connect to my mixing board for the sound. So for anybody out there that is, talking to videographers or photographers or anything, and that's not my world. I'm not even going to try to admit that it's my world. I don't even have a video of my stinking podcast. So, it's not my world at all. I'm not techie one bit. But just my concerns of like sound quality. Does she need to stand near my speaker? What are we looking at? Because the pictures, I'm pretty sure she's got it on lock. On all the other weddings that she's done with me, she's done really good. I don't know what her editing skills are or anything like that, but talking to Tommy and a couple other, well, it's actually a couple, husband and wife videographer, and they are like top notch. They get they video everything. As soon as the bride gets there, they're videoing. They're videoing the photographer taking the pictures. They're doing everything. They got their little headsets. The husband's like, "Hey, wifey, come in. I'm upstairs. I got this angle." He's got the drone flying. They're another level compared to Little Miss iPhone. And so I was, just from a perspective like, what do I need to do to kind of help this photographer / videographer out? She's using her iPhone. Is there anything that I can do from a sound quality standpoint or from my DJ standpoint to help out some, just to make it what I would think is maybe a better quality product. Not to say that maybe she's got some kick-ass editing software that I don't know about. That's $1,000, and she's just gonna be killing it. As soon as she starts editing it, man, it looks Hollywood level stuff. I don't know, but I do know that at least my pictures and videos with an iPhone, could use a little bit of help. If it was that easy, I'd be videoing this podcast, with my iPhone. But the quality is just not there. And I would really like for this couple, this bride and groom, to have a really high quality video, whether it be the resolution or whether it just be my sound, because that's important to me. You don't want to just have the video and you gotta crank up the volume to hear the sound. So something to kind of think about whenever you're looking for your photographer or videographers. That's another thing. And like I said, not that I know cameras or anything like that, but maybe you may want to double check, like what kind of equipment are you using. As a DJ, that's something that I often try to convey to anybody that's booking me, whether it be for a birthday party or a wedding or a prom, or I let them know, like, I got two 15-inch speakers, or I got four. I can use all four. I got my own laptop, I got my own lights, I got my own table, I got my own extension cords. I try to lay out there as much as possible. Like, I am covered. You do not need to worry about me. And this is this is kind of the equipment that I'm using. Just so they know that it's not, a janky setup. That when they get there, it's like, oh, you have like 4 lights. I'm glad we paid for the uplight package. When they get there, I want them to be like, okay, wow, you got like every inch of this whole venue, whether it be a barn or for a prom, it may be like the convention center, something like that. You have it all lit up. It looks wonderful. It looks great. I got scrims covering, speaker stands, and they're lit up. I got a scrim tablecloth over my table, so it's not just a table. It looks professional. And I don't know about the feel when you're paying somebody. I can't even throw out a number, but it's got to be, I don't know, $200 an hour, maybe, at least, to video your wedding. And the guy or girl are like, hey, I got it on my iPhone here. Like what? I mean, I hope they got it on do not disturb. What if someone calls? That's gonna mess it up some, or at least it would startle me, and I would shake the phone and it would be blurry, and zoom in with my fingers. That's always terrible. But I mean, I'm a guy. We always take terrible pictures and videos anyway. So, yeah. So I mean, if you're looking to get a photographer, I know, a lot of them have like a portfolio for photos and stuff. I've not really found anybody that has like a portfolio. Oh yeah, these are our videos. The husband and wife combo that I know, I've done three weddings with them. I've done three with them. And I mean, they'll break it down to you. They're like, this is the software that we use, and these are the two cameras that we'll be using. This one's for video, this one's for whatever. And then, I guess she has two cameras, and he's got the camcorder. And then he lets them know that they have a drone that they can fly above and get everything from a bird's eye view. I mean, they are like super professional, and I mean they quit their jobs during COVID to do it full time. So they're expensive, but they are also heads and shoulders above anybody in this area. So I don't know if anybody listening out there is from Fort Smith, Arkansas, but if you are, I got your hookup on videographers and anything that you would need video wise, whether it be drone to just somebody videoing every single second since you arrive at the venue. I mean, it'll take them about 2.5 weeks to get it back to you, because there is hours and hours of footage that they go through. But like I said, they quit their job, so it's what they do full time. But yeah, so back to photographers. Also, my one kind of I guess nitpick on photographers is the whole time the timeline. We went into with planners and stuff, how they get, wedding planners, they get into the itinerary. And my thing with photographers is, man, they just take forever. And they can take pictures forever. And like I said earlier, it's great, and they're worth their money if they can do it, professionally in the right way, and everything looks great. But sometimes, man, your photographer, after the ceremony, your guests will go inside, they'll eat, and then 20 minutes will pass, you're still taking pictures. Then you'll have the DJ or myself make an announcement. We need immediate family outside. Okay, well, that means the bridal party and the bride and groom are done taking pictures, and the parents. So then they need like immediate family, grandparents. Okay, so they all go out there. And then, 20 more minutes pass. Now you're looking at 40 minutes. Everybody's done eating. And, they're like, well, okay, we're done eating. Now we're just drinking. Now we're just talking. A lot of times that's kind of when people start to get, kind of grumbling, and, it's like, well, do we open up the dance floor? Because they haven't even done the first dance. And the bridal party isn't even here, and they said they were going to party. The bride and groom aren't here, and they said they were going to party. Like, what do we do? We're just waiting, and then we're waiting. I mean, there's been times where, 45, 50 minutes has passed, and the bride and groom are like, nowhere to be seen. It's like, well, where are they? Somewhere on the property, and then someone's got to go flag them down. And, they're like, oh yeah, they'll be in like 10 minutes. And I'm like, that's like, it's like a whole hour. You only paid me for 3 hours, 20, 30 minutes of it was for your ceremony. An hour you were gone for pictures. We already all ate. You're wasting time. So if you can find a photographer that can kind of consolidate it and kind of get her or his pictures going rather quickly, which, I mean, I know sometimes you're out there, the bridal party's having fun, goofing around and everything. I understand. But on the other hand, too, there's a lot of times where just a photographer, I'm like, great, you got to hurry up, let's go, and she's like, well, it was just the right mood and this and that. And I'm like, okay, well, they came back in and 25 people have left already because they got tired of waiting. They already ate and, they got tired of waiting. So that, I mean, that's my big knock on most photographers. I'm sure that they have top of the line editing software, and I'm sure, I'm not going to say that it's not hard to, point and click, because I don't got that skill, which is a skill. And if you've seen any of my pictures, I don't have it. But, you can edit a lot of stuff and you can make a lot of stuff, look a lot nicer. But having that, I guess, punctuality, to be like, all right, this is what we're doing. Like, we're lining up, click, click, click. All right, groomsmen, hop in there. Okay, now bride, hop in there with the groomsmen and the groom. Okay, bridesmaids, hop in there, groomsmen, you're out. We're gonna kind of get it moving. Just kind of picking up the pace some. And I mean, it's not necessarily to keep up with the itinerary, but it's just, to keep things moving in kind of a timely manner. Once people kind of sit down and eat, if the bride and groom aren't there, they're kind of gone. Not many people are there to party. Unfortunately, I wish they were. But they're really there just for like support, to see family, to catch up, to talk, to drink, and then you got your, like, I don't know, 30 or 40% that are 30 or 40%. Yeah, it's probably about 30 or 40% that are there to, party and start getting down with the music and have a good time. But, I mean, you got to get the bride and groom back to the to the reception in order to get that going. So that's kind of my knock for photographers. That, and then, I mean, just, check with the price, they can get pretty expensive really quick. And I know DJs can also, but, I mean, everything can. Inflation, right? It's 2022. So, but yeah, just, kind of get a feel of, maybe how they would do it, what the day of would look like. Is it going to drag on to get the pictures while you're getting your hair and your nails done, or, the behind the scenes stuff, how comfortable are they kind of, moving things along. And once you kind of get a feel for that, just kind of go with your gut, because you don't want to have a great ceremony, everybody's ready, and then you come into a reception and all the people that you saw walking down the aisle, 30 to 40 of them have left, because that happens quite a bit, at least at the weddings that I've been at, where they're taking pictures for far, far too long. And then I guess, for videographers, just I would just, make sure that they're not using their iPhone or their Samsung phone, because if you're going to pay somebody $1,000 at least to video document your wedding, you may want some professional kind of top of the line equipment, recording, those moments. And like I said, I'm sure they got, kick-ass editing software. I mean, nowadays every software is top of the line. It's so freaking amazing. But I don't know if, some person going around, in the middle of your ceremony, creeping up and like zooming in on an iPhone is what many brides and grooms are looking for. I'm just not 100% sure. So, maybe just kind of ask around, like, what kind of camera you got. And if they say, oh, I got a Nikon, whatever, then you're good to go. And if they say I got an Apple iPhone, you may be like, thanks, but no thanks. So just be careful, because I really believe that photographers it's so very important. If you get the right photographer to capture those moments of that wonderful special day, it's going to last. I can't tell you how many times my wife has asked me something about our wedding, and I'm like, I honestly, I can't recall it. And it's not that, I wasn't paying attention at that moment, or I wasn't super excited, or, just tingly all over. I was excited, and you will be, or you were excited. You're marrying your best friend, hopefully. And there's just so much going on and so much emotion that you're like, I'm going to remember this forever. And for the most part, you do. But there's those like small details that, maybe you forgot that, that one picture just happened to capture. And I mean, that's the thing for us, we got, the CD, the hard copy of all of the photos. And the ones that we like the most are not just the, we're standing up there holding hands or this and that, but like the way we looked at each other when the song came on, and or when we cracked up at some part of somebody's speech, or stuff like that, that you're gonna forget 5, 10, 15 years down the line. You may remember the speech, but you may not remember, your reaction at, the third sentence, or whatever in that speech. So I just really think a really good photographer, a great photographer, is probably like the most important thing, just so you can capture those moments. And I know that they're going to be expensive, but it's worth it. I believe it's worth it. If this day is going to mean so much to you, for you to be able to look back and just remember all the little small things that made, that day great. And I mean, that's kind of what life is. It's a lot of small things that makes life great. And having a photographer that's able to capture that moment is, I don't want to say priceless, because I'm not going to shell out, $3,000 for a photographer. I don't have that much money, so I wouldn't do it. But it's definitely, worth it to get a really good photographer. So I just want to say thanks to everybody that's listened to the podcast. I know this is only like the I guess really the second episode. It's actually the third podcast, but I think we've got a total of like 5 listeners. So hey, we're moving up. But I appreciate everybody listening. I'm not 100% sure how to make this podcast, the best podcast that it could be. You and I will find out together as we just keep making them, and we keep, pushing out some content. Like I keep saying, leave some suggestions or comments or questions or something, and we'll start there, and we'll see where it ends up. I was talking with my DJ partner and telling him kind of a little bit about, the podcast and whatnot. I mean, I do want him on there, so I had to tell him about it. I mean, there's things that I would like to do at my weddings. Get some videos of some of the stuff that I like to do at the weddings, and then have, some of those brides and grooms that, I DJ'd for to be on the podcast, so that you could, hear from some actual bride and grooms, not necessarily just about, me DJing, but about their overall wedding day experience. So, we definitely have, some areas of growth. I mean, like I said, there's only 5 listeners, so, but I appreciate all 5 of you. Y'all are awesome. Keep listening. Give me a 5-star review, download it. If you appreciate the content and the podcast, share it with your friends. We'll continue to grow this channel, and I don't necessarily know about getting paid for the channel, but I mean, I don't even know if there's ads on the channel. But if I get paid for ads or whatever, I'm really gonna put that towards doing some of the games and stuff that I want to do with the weddings that I DJ, and just bless other people. I already have a Monday through Friday job, and I DJ. But I really want to, do some giveaways and do some wedding prizes and stuff for some of the families that I DJ, or even some of the wedding shows that I go to. So yeah, if this channel continues to grow and it starts to reap anything financial, I just want to bless other people, and hopefully by that it will just continue to make this podcast more interesting, and attract more listeners, and we'll just keep growing. I hope everybody has a wonderful Easter, and like I said, after this wedding tomorrow, I will get on and post another podcast, probably I don't know, the early part of next week, and that'll probably be my routine, is just to have like a Monday, Thursday kind of routine, publish twice a week or something like that. But like I said, I really hope to hear from you. Leave me any comments or questions. You're not gonna hurt my feelings, so I would say keep it nice, because my parents and my wife will read it, but it's all right. I'll take any comments and questions at the time. I hope everybody has a wonderful Easter. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you at the next podcast. Have a great day.